Hello everybody, welcome back to Screenstars, welcome to another PlayStation review. Today's review is for 2 Point Campus. Now this is a game that came out just a few short days ago on the PlayStation. It's a game that I've been really looking forward to. And for those of you who don't know, this is from the same people that brought us 2 Point Hospital a couple of years ago. A game that I have covered on this channel. I did review it and thoroughly enjoyed. Now I like management sims and strategy games, all this kind of stuff. And years ago, I used to love games like, Theme Park and Theme Hospital and all that kind of stuff. And this is very much of the same kind of thing. It wouldn't surprise me if some of the people that are involved in these games, the 2 Point Hospital and 2 Point Campus, weren't part of the same teams that made those games. They're very, very similar games. Now, for those of you who have played 2 Point Hospital, this is a game you are going to feel immediately familiar with. They are thematically very, very identical in how you play the game. Now, the only real massive difference here is obviously Theme Point Hospital was hospital based, and this is campus or college based sort of thing for those of us in the UK, or university, whatever you want to call it. So the game essentially, you've got, when you first buy the game, you've only really got one choice, and that's just really just dive into the game and get on with it, basically. And the game is structured in a way where you start off at one campus, you build it up to a certain level, and then you will unlock the next campus, and so on and so forth. There's a few campuses that you can open and unlock, and all of them are kind of themed differently. There's the first one, I think, is it's like a science campus. The second one is like a foodie type campus. There's like a nights campus. There's a whole different. Each campus has kind of got a different theme, and you will work your way through the academic year on campus, and then, like, if you follow the career thing, it will give you, at the end of each academic year, it gives you some goals to aim for in regards to setting up another lesson. For example, in the first one, it's like you start off with like science classes, and then after the first year, it'll say, right, okay, now you need to set up a new class, and it might be like a VR class, which is still scientifically based, but it's a different theme in regards to a class. So then you have to kind of build the classes, but it's not just the classrooms that you need to build. You need to build like a lecture hall. You need to build like a library so that the students can study. You need to build like a dormitory for the students to sleep and relax, toilets, bathrooms, student lounges, staff rooms, student unions. I mean, the list goes on, and you've got to, make sure all their needs are met, basically. You've got to put up like vending machines, water coolers. You've got to make the place attractive by putting up flowers and posters. And booking events as well. There's you can book like a movie in the lecture hall, like a funny film event. You can set up like parties in student lounges, and proper discos and stuff in the student unions, because you can put like a stage up. I mean, you've got to kind of keep all the time. You've got to keep your students happy, because the happier the students are, the faster they will learn. The faster they learn, and the faster they progress through the courses, then the courses will increase in level. The more they increase in level, the more money you make, the more students will enroll in the courses, the more money you make, so on and so forth. You also have to obviously hire teachers for each of the classes. You've got to hire janitors to keep the place clean and tidy, but some of the janitors, for example, the night school, it's like a medieval school where you teach people to be knights and things like that. It's quite humorous, obviously. But some of the janitors you employ there will double as security officers, because you will get invaded by other schools in the night school, so they will kind of eject them from your school. So you hire teachers, you hire janitors, and you also hire assistants. Now, assistants can do a number of tasks. They can work in the library. They can work in like the first aid room. They can work in like the vendor stands, so you can put like hot dog stands up. like a veggie stand, coffee stands, and they will work in all of those. Now, each of the people that you employ, whether it be your teachers, your janitors, or your assistants, have come with a certain set of skills, but you can also build a training school. So you can train everybody on site to be good at other tasks as well, so that they'll be able to work in the library and be good at that, work in the first aid room and be good at that, but also be good at other things as well. It doesn't necessarily matter greatly. You can still hire assistants and put them in the library to work, but they might not necessarily be skilled in the library setting, so you need to train them up so they will be better at that. You can build like private tuition rooms for your students, so that they will, increase their learning levels because they might be struggling at passing the course, all this kind of stuff. I mean, there's a massive array of rooms that you can buy. Now, the thing about this, I mean, if it was just a straight-faced sim, it would still be good. But for me, what keeps me really hooked on this game is the humour associated to it, right? This, for example, is the retraining machine. So I'm training a member of staff here to be good at something else. I don't remember what it is, but you can look at it there. It just looks like they're being brainwashed. It's hilarious. If you actually zoom in and look at a lot of the classes that are taking place, you will literally have some laugh out loud moments because they're very, very humorous how they're set out, all the animations and things, the way some of the students look. It keeps you constantly entertained and your eyes are always looking at something really, really fun. There's radio stations playing all the time that have got a really humorous theme. There are announcements over the tannoy, very much like the last game, that will announce humorous statements and things like that. Some of it does get a little bit repetitive, certainly the tannoy anyway. But each plot that you land on, basically. So, for example, this is the night school plot. The radio station is kind of specific for that place. Some of the other colleges or campuses you go back to, they'll have like their own radio stations. So they all feel like they've got their own identity, these different campuses. And they're a lot of fun. They keep you really, really engaged and entertained. And your goal, to try to hit your goals, make the money and move on to the next campus. Now, very much like the last game, you could argue that the modes here are limited. You've just really essentially got this mode, which I'm talking about. It is moving from campus to campus and upgrading them and making them better. There is a sandbox mode when you turn it on in the menu, but it's greyed out. So very much like Theme Hospital, clearly the sandbox mode is going to be coming later, which is what happened with that game. So that's something to look forward to if you want to kind of just go in and build a campus and not really have like a theme to it and just make it how you want it. That obviously is coming later, but I don't know how later. So, I mean, really, guys, if you played Theme Point Hospital and really, really enjoyed it, then you are absolutely going to enjoy this one. It's engaging, it's entertaining, it looks great, it's humorous, it's fun. There's a lot of variety, and for a building sim, it does everything that you want it to do. I'm really super impressed with this one. So essentially, I'm going to give this one a pretty strong 8 out of 10. It is worth picking up. If it doesn't look like it's your thing, then wait for a sale. But it's not exactly overpriced anyway. I think it's $34.99 in the UK. So yeah, definitely worth checking out, guys, if you're a fan of this sort of genre. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this review, and I will, of course, be back with plenty more content on the channel very, very soon.